Hey there. So it stopped raining and I decided to go out for a walk again today. I can't believe that I spent so much of my early years not enjoying the beauty of the outdoors and the experience, and even just the healing nature of being outside can feel like. I love especially walking after it has rained or even after snow, because there's just something about breathing in the air and you get to smell so many different things. Like right now on this trail, I can smell the flowers and I can smell the fresh cut grass, and somewhere in the distance, I can hear the birds. And it made me think about all the different seasons that we have, depending on where we live, and the different things that we do to not only protect ourselves during those seasons, but then also the different experiences that we look to pursue. For example, we are heading into summer. And so with summer, we think about different things, the importance of hydrating, the importance of using sunscreen to protect our bodies. During winter, we think about all the different layers that we have to wear to protect our bodies so that we don't have to deal with frostbite and the cold weather temperatures. In the spring, of course, with rain and everything, we think about, okay, do I have my umbrella? Do I have my poncho? Are my things protected so that they don't get wet? And in fall, that sort of awkward in between season where we may have to wear one or two extra layers just to, protect ourselves, because the weather is always changing in different ways. Life is also, to me, something that we experience in different seasons. As we get older, there are different experiences that we're going to pursue. There are different things that are going to affect us personally and professionally that will determine the season that we're in. There are different types of, I would say, connections or spaces that we are going to be part of that will also influence the season that we're in, and even determine where we are mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially, physically, in all the different ways. So as I was walking today, I started thinking about something, and this question came to mind. What season are you in? I'm not talking about the weather. I'm talking about where you are personally. I know that I'm in the season of figuring things out. Who do I want to become? Who am I becoming? I know one of the things, I shouldn't even say things, I feel one of the paths that I'm leaning into more is embracing being a storyteller. I realize that I've lived in a world of words for as long as I can remember, and I've always loved stories. I've always loved reading stories. I've always loved writing stories. I felt like I wrote a lot more when I was younger. Someday I'll share some of my early writing. I have a bin that has some of my writing from like elementary school and middle school and high school and even college. And so my writing has shifted depending on the season that I was in, depending on the places that I was in at that time. And in this particular season, I'm figuring things out for myself, deciding who do I want to become? What path do I want to pursue professionally? And I keep circling back into this space of, I really want to tell more stories, because that is something that warms my heart in so many different ways. That is something that connects me in so many different ways to so many different places and to so many different people. And it's so important to me that people understand how powerful storytelling is in everything and anything that you do. The other day, I had an opportunity to connect with one of my students, and she was telling me, and I've probably talked about this earlier, she was telling me about one of the many things that she always remembers from our class was how I drilled into the students the importance of storytelling and what the elements of storytelling are. And that when you are working with a client, that is the mindset shift that you need to encourage them to explore, because the story is going to make a difference in how you connect with your audiences. So what season are you in? This is something that I wrote while I was walking earlier today. Sometimes the season you're in feels heavy, awkward, or unfinished. But this moment is shaping you in ways comfort never could. So embrace the moment right now. Embrace right now, even the messy parts, because sometimes that's hard. We want everything to be perfect, depending on the season that we're in. And what I'm learning is that the messy parts are part of the process. It's part of the experience that is going to shape you. Because growth always starts in the soil before the bloom. And that is so true. I remember, walking around these trails, and there was really nothing here, just a lot of dirt. And over time, when I go back through my camera roll, I can see the different trees and plants and flowers that have taken shape and covered what was once a dirt path. And it's so beautiful to see. And that's the same thing about the different seasons that we're in. Sometimes it's really messy. Sometimes it's really awkward. Sometimes we feel like we're alone as we're going through all these different stages. Sometimes people don't understand the season that we're in. Sometimes we don't even understand it ourselves. Sometimes the season that we're in can cause us to feel stuck and almost believe that there's no way out. I'd like to encourage you to believe that the season that you're in is not your permanent circumstance. This season will change, and so will you. You just have to believe that and understand that this messy moment is part of that journey. You have to start somewhere. And so whatever season you're in, whether it's awkward, whether you feel it's unfinished, whether you feel you're confused, embrace and honor those feelings, because that is all part of the journey, and that is part of the story that you can share. That is part of expressing and being vulnerable as you're going through these seasons. That is part of creating an opportunity for you to reach out to others when you're going through these seasons, because you never know what advice or experience someone can share that can help you as you're going through whatever season or journey you're going through. So what season are you in? Embrace it, honor it, enjoy it, take comfort in it, have fun with it, talk about it, share it. And somewhere along the way, I encourage you to go outside, because that will make a huge difference no matter what.